In an upcoming scheduled match between Tszyu and Keith Thurman, there are many questions, but one of the main questions should be, could it be like old times for one time in this particular fight? Let's discuss further Thurman versus Tszyu. The upcoming battle that will have the WBO junior middleweight champion Tszyu take on Keith one-time Thurman this coming March 30th, 31st, depending on what part of the world you're in when the fight takes place, from the T-Mobile Arena, is a fight that has a lot of question marks over it because of the vulnerabilities of the fighters. And I say fighters, plural, because both men have exhibited vulnerabilities. Keith Thurman, his main vulnerability currently is the fact that he hasn't been as an active fighter as he should have been going into a fight of this magnitude against the likes of a fighter like Tszyu. Now, Tszyu, who's coming into this fight, super welterweight champion of the world, he is an orthodox fighter and he's from South Wales, Australia. The son of veteran fighter and legendary fighter Tszyu. His record now is 24-0 with 17 KOs. He's 5'8.5", an orthodox fighter with a 70.5-inch reach. He's bigger than his dad was, and his nickname is the Soul Taker. Tim goes out with a hard hat and lunch pail type workman-like ethic in fights. He likes to break his fighters down, his opponents. He goes in a seek and destroy type manner. However, we have seen him be vulnerable in situations, and that vulnerability showed his head. And we'll talk about that. As far as Thurman, he's coming into this fight as a former unified welterweight champion, a fighter who had one time garnered a great deal of respect. And his present record of 30-1 with 22 KOs has seen him survive and thrive in the sport, but with such inactivity, we just don't know what's left for Keith Thurman and the present age that he is. He's in his early 30s, okay? And Tszyu isn't quite 30 himself. But this is the thing. Thurman has the type of experience, both amateur and professional, that can present the type of problems that Tszyu, as when he ran into Gaucher, happened to find out that even though you go in aggressively and you look to dig toward fighters' body, sometimes there are vulnerabilities there. You leave yourself open. And a counter right hand, which happens to be one of Thurman's strongest punches, can do something to you. Tszyu against Terrell Gaucher was down in the very first round, going out, as he's known to do, pursuing and going after Gaucher, who slammed him with a counter right hand and saw him put Tszyu on the canvas. The only difference is Gaucher, for the entire rest of the fight, fought with his hands tied, as if, oops, I didn't mean to do that. And he basically submitted to Tszyu's aggression for the rest of the fight, but Tszyu never put him down and never looked like he was going to stop him. Now, in this fight, Tszyu, with his current streak, should be successful, should be the man to come out on top. But there is something that's telling me that old adage about fighters who have been around, veterans, that they can sometimes put it all together for one more hurrah. And that's what Tszyu had better respect. He better not go in there against Thurman just thinking, oh, Thurman is weak to the body, like many fighters and coaches and trainers have looked at. But Thurman, though he has taken body shots in a way that makes it look like he's not the most, capable guy of taking those type of trauma in the ring, he hasn't been stopped. He hasn't been dropped off of that. And Thurman has a great ring IQ. You can say what you want to say about one time. You can say that he's getting old. You can say that there are things that, have passed him by. But he's been preserved. That single loss, a split decision loss to Manny Pacquiao, and that was in July of 2019. He's only had 2 fights since then. This fight coming up, and in 2022, February, he fought Mario Barrios in a 12-round decision. But Thurman is a fox, and you have to be careful of foxes, because if you underestimate them, they will show you exactly what being a fox truly is. And I'm certain that by taking this fight, Thurman has seen something about Tszyu that he feels that he can exploit. So be careful out there, Tszyu supporters and those who are in his corner, because you're going up against a veteran fighter who's smart enough and has enough wherewithal to get the business done in the ring. Though he may have taken Manny Pacquiao a little bit lightly, there is no chance of him taking Tszyu lightly. And with the arrogance that Thurman brings in a fight, he knows that he does not want to be embarrassed in this situation. And guess what? This fight is in Vegas, people, not Australia. It's going to be headlining a co-main event that'll feature Rolly Romero against Isaac Cruz. This will be broadcast on Amazon Prime pay-per-view, and it's going to be probably worth checking out. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about one time being someone who can get it done one more time. Peace to everyone, and everyone please remain safe.